This is when your starter's ready, take one. So we fed this 3.5, 4 hours ago. It depends on temperature a lot, but the way you can really tell, if you can bring your phone closer here, it wants to be bubbly, both on the top and on the sides. It was also here. You can put an elastic band around it. When I filled it originally, it was there, so it's like doubled, a little bit more than doubled in size. You don't want to go too much more than double because it gets a little watery and it doesn't seem to come out as good as a product. So you want to go for double, nice and bubbly and active. And I put in 200 grams, so 100 grams of flour, 100 grams of water, and there was 100 grams of starter. And that's sort of the ratio that I use, and this works. So once you have your starter ready, first thing you want to do is tear the bowls. It's going to be weird because I'm looking at the scale backwards, so I'll have to figure this out. So it should be 0. Now, this is something that a lot of people debate too, because different recipes, I think the one I sent you might have said 20 grams, some people say 30 grams. It depends on all your ratios. For this particular recipe that I've been finding has been working, I go with 100 grams of starter. So I'm going to start with that and put it in. It doesn't have to be exact. I know baking's supposed to be exact, and I'm sure if you made it exact and you figured out your ratios and your math, you end up with a far superior product. But when I'm baking like 2 loaves every 2 or 3 days, and I don't have much time and I'm working and stuff, I'm going with what seems to have worked over the last, 200 loaves or so that I've made. So I like 100 grams here. Now this will also make your loaves taste more sour. The more starter you put in, the more sour they're going to taste. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get my water all set.
98.
Okay, do you want to pause there?
104.
Internet. The water I forgot has suddenly appeared. Okay, once you have your 100 grams of starter in, now different things you read, there's only 3 things you need from there. You need flour, water, salt. Depending on the recipe and who tells you what, and there's baker ratios, so it's ratio, when you hear the ratios, it's usually amount of flour to water. So when you're looking at recipes, that's usually what they're talking about there. For this, for just simplicity's sake, I go 500 grams-ish of flour, 350 grams-ish of water. Weight's really important when it comes to flour and water. And then salt, I usually do about 10 grams. So 100 starter, 500 flour, 350 water, 10 starter. So that's the general rule. I'll kind of, if it's off by a little bit here and there, it doesn't seem to matter in the end product. I've done it a few times to get a little bit more of a rise, a little bit less of a rise, a little bit more of a chewy crust. But I mean, as long as you're close, it's usually not a bad problem. The other thing is the order of ingredients. So
This went to sleep.
Oh, did it? No, thanks. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's fine. The order of ingredients. So always starter first. Some people say autolyze your water and flour. We're not even going to talk about that now. You can look that up if you want. I tried it. I've tried it multiple times, and there's no difference in quality. The other thing I did A/B test, though, is whether to put water first. The order of water, flour, and salt. And if I'm going to go starter, flour, starter, flour, salt, water, mix, it seemed to get the fluffiest, best consistency. And I don't know if that's just me or not, but I did that test like 30 times, and so this one would be one way, this one would be another way, and I keep trying it, and this method always seems to come out best. So we're going 500 grams of flour. I think you can tell me when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Or tell me when I'm close, I can't see it at all.
Okay. No, not yet, but like 400, 450, whoa, 488, 500.
Oh no! Did I go over?
Yeah, you did.
By how much?
13.
Okay. Is that about 13?
Yeah, it's 501 now.
Perfect. Not bad, eh? Okay, same with salt. You can weigh it up. I usually just take a big pinch. And that is going to be about 10 grams. No, probably about 8, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, that was 10 grams.
Okay, and then for flour. So you can either do the math.
You mean water?
Water. Or you can either do the math or you can tear it. I'll just tear it for this sake so we know. I'm going to put in about 350. This one's harder. You got to be really careful to stop because it's like easy to go over.
Okay, 222.
I mean, if you had a better
290.
scale.
Stop. 340. 350.
Okay. Once you have it all in, the first thing you're going to do is take a fork and whisk. I usually just, I don't know, there might be, this is one thing I haven't researched is whisking techniques. Most of the recipes just say mix with a fork and then finish with a bowl scraper. So that's what I do. And I don't know when you stop and change over. I've never really researched that, but what I do is I just get it till almost everything's kind of sticking into like a shaggy dough ball is I think the term that you hear in recipes, which is about like that consistency. It could be a little bit wetter, depending if you put a little bit too much water in or a little bit less flour. And then what I do is I just scrape the side of the bowl. This plastic scraper works great, by the way, if you can find one like this. I think this came from like the dollar store a long time ago. But yeah, then you're just making sure you scrape up everything on the bottom. Just kind of fold it in until it's not really sticking to the sides anymore and you got a nice shaggy dough ball. Like that. Okay, and then from there, you're just taking a shower cap and you are putting the shower cap over it. And now that's going to sit and rest. Because we live in Florida and it's warm outside, I just keep it outside. You can rest it in the oven. You get bread proofing machines that like rest at a certain temperature. I can't remember offhand. I think it's around 78 degrees is like the, don't quote me on that. You have to Google it. But between 78 and 80, which it just happens to be a little bit warmer than that outside. It's 92, so that means this will rise faster. No, that means it just means it's going to rise faster. So I'll put it outside. We're going to give it 45 minutes to rest like this. Then we'll come back to the video for stretching and folding. And then after that, I'm going to stretch and fold 3 more times every half an hour. All right?